practice employment litigation, discrimination, sexual harassment in the courts of New York and New Jersey. And both of these states, and indeed also the city of New York, have aggressive laws on the books to protect workers, to ensure that they are not discriminated against because of their gender, nor are they harassed at work sexually. It's not okay for someone to be given a preference because of their gender, and it's not okay for someone to create a hostile work environment by making unwanted sexual advances or crude jokes that are sexual in nature.
Generally speaking, there's a couple major types of sexual harassment. The first is the creation of a hostile work environment. There's comments, there's objectification, there's touching, there's even worse in some cases, up to sexual assault. We've seen all of it. On the other hand, there's also quid pro quo, which is just as disgusting. It's trading sexual favors, trading attention, trading those kinds of things with frequently male superiors to get ahead, or being forced to trade those things to get ahead, or in some cases, people who do trade those things get ahead and other people are left behind because they have self-respect and won't. Anytime those things occur, Matsikoudis and Fanciullo is there to try and fix them. Sexual harassment occurs along multiple fronts. We have an experience seen it from something along the lines of comments that are made to people, whether texts are sent that are inappropriate, pictures that are sent across text that are inappropriate, comments about bodies that are made directly to people or in emails or texts, to physical touching that's absolutely unwanted.
While some of the more high-profile sexual harassment cases have involved individuals who are in positions of power who were harassed or discriminated against at work, like news anchors and such, we have represented many individuals who are not high-income wage earners, yet nonetheless have cases that are of important value to us. First and foremost, if you're sexually discriminated against or you're sexually harassed, it shouldn't matter whether or not you're earning a high salary in order to prosecute a case. And the damages in these cases are actually calculated in a couple of different ways. One important aspect of the damages is absolutely economic loss. And if somebody is forced out of their job as a consequence of being sexually harassed, or if they're passed over for a promotion because of their gender, they should be entitled to get the economic compensation that is pretty easily calculated between what they would have earned had they not been passed over, had they not been lost their job. On the other side of the coin, plaintiffs who succeed in these types of cases are also entitled to redress for their emotional distress. So one of the things that we do with these cases is we make sure that our clients are getting the mental health care that they need. Not only do we find it to be really important toward helping these clients feel better about themselves and to get over the severe psychological and emotional distress that they frequently suffer as a consequence of sexual harassment, but it also enables us to make the case to the judge and jury why this client is entitled to redress. Indeed, your pain and suffering that you've suffered mentally, your anguish, your mental, psychological anguish is something that you can and will be compensated for. And that is one of the focuses of our cases when we handle sexual harassment cases.
Mainly, we are centered in New Jersey and New York, and both of those states have aggressive legislation that's in place that seeks to stop sexual harassment and then seeks to compensate victims of sexual harassment. Those pieces of legislation are liberally construed. That means that victims have an easier time in court proving their cases.
These statutes also provide another tool to make sure that litigation can be brought to protect people's rights, and that's attorney's fees. So even in a case where the amount of money that can be obtained is not obvious, a successful litigant will have their attorney's fees paid, which means that we will litigate these cases for no charge, no matter what. Only way we get paid is if you get paid.
That's where we step in. If you've been sexually harassed, you can contact Matsikoudis and Fanciullo. You can get a free consultation, and if you have a case, we will step in and give you a voice where you might not have one.